All right, so what's the first thing I got to do in any sort of parabola equation?
Find the vertex.
I got to find the vertex. Okay, so first thing, vertex. And I'm going to say, this one's not the same, okay? So since it's got an absolute value, I can't do the whole, x is equal to, yeah. So I got to figure out what value I can input for this x to make everything in the absolute value bar equal to 0. So I'm going to say 2x plus 8 is equal to 0. And some people can tell off the top of their head, what's x going to be equal to? X is going to be equal to a negative 4. Okay? But I'm still going to say minus 8. So I'm just using basic algebra. I set everything inside of those absolute value bars equal to 0. Subtract 8 from both sides. Okay? And now I'm left with 2x is equal to negative 8. And then what's going to be the next thing that I do?
You're going to
Divide by 2. And we find out that x is equal to negative 4. Alright? So my vertex, I know that I'm going to input negative 4. Okay? What am I going to get an output of?
You have to input your negative 4 into the equation.
Okay, so I input the negative 4 into the equation. What's everything inside the bar is going to be equal to? 0. Okay, so what's 0 squared? 0. Okay, so now this one's going to be pretty easy actually. What's 0 minus 4?
Negative.
So our vertex is going to be at negative 4, negative 4. Alright, okay. What's the second thing I want to do?
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept.
Which is when you input the x's at 0.
Yep. Okay, so I input 0, and now I just got to figure out what my output is. Okay. Am I good to erase this right here?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay. Good. That's not what I'm going to erase. Okay, so now I'm just going to plug this into the equation. Alright, y is equal to negative absolute value of, and what am I going to say? Anybody want to help me out?
Times 0 plus 8 absolute value squared minus 4.
I thought we were making
Okay.
an equation, that's why I didn't say that.
No, you did.
2 times 0 for the absolute value would be 0 plus 8, which is positive 8 squared minus 4.
Okay, so absolute value of 8 is going to get me 8. 8 squared is going to get me what? 64.
And then you
So-
add the negative.
Yep, so I'm going to say negative 64, and then I'm going to say minus 4, okay, which is going to get me what?
Negative 68.
So this is not something that I'm going to graph out, okay? So I could if I had an unlimited amount of paper to draw it out, okay? But I'm not going to mess with graphing this one out, all right? Is this my good marker? Yeah, it was. Okay, so I'm going to say input of 0, output of negative 68. Am I good to erase all this?
No.
No? I'm going to start drawing my table then. I'm going to do that up here. I'm going to say X, Y. Yeah, that's about all I need is 5 spaces. I put too much. So the middle value that I'm going to put in here is negative 4. I get an output of negative 4. is this graph going to be curling up or down?
Because it's, yeah, down is negative.
Down because we've got that negative in front of the absolute value symbol. So I,
Wait 1 second. Okay. Hold on. Okay. And I was right.
too late, you're going to have to speed up. It's basic algebra. Okay. Now what do you want me to write around it? What am I going to write right here?
-3.
Okay, let's go -3, and then we'll say -2. This one's going to be a -5, and this is going to be a -6. Okay. So which one would you rather me input, -3 or -5?
-3.
-3. Okay, let's do that. Does anybody want to help me fill in the blanks here a little bit? Y is equal to what?
Negative absolute value of 2 times -3 plus 8 absolute value squared minus 4.
Okay, 2 times -3 is going to give me what? -6. Okay, -6 plus 8 is going to get me 2. We're going to say squared minus 4. Okay, what's 2 squared?
4. So
4.
4 minus 4 is 0.
-4
There you go.
-4 minus 4 is going to be -8.
I always teach better when that recording is on for some reason. Okay, there you go. So I input -3, I get an output of -8. What's going to be the mirror image to that?
-5 will also be -8.
Okay. And am I good to erase in the green?
Almost.
Okay. So, which one do we want to input? -6 or -2? -2. So y is equal to negative absolute value of 2, and then in parentheses I'm going to say -2 plus 8 absolute value squared minus 4. Okay, -2 times 2 is going to give me what? Okay, so I'm going to say negative absolute value of -4. Okay, and what is -4 plus 8? Okay, that's going to get me 4. We're going to say absolute value squared minus 4. Okay, absolute value of 4 is
16.
okay. Absolute value of 4 is 4, but then we square it, we get that 16. So I'm going to say y is equal to, and I throw in that. There we go.
Which then that would be -20.
Yep. So this one curls down pretty quick because you multiply it by 2 before you square it, and it changes it really dramatically. All right. What's going to be the mirror image? What's going to be the mirror image to this -2?
Marriage to the -2 will also be 6.
Okay, it's going to be that -6. Did you see that there? Okay. And let's go to graph. Okay? The first coordinate that I'm going to graph out, -4, okay, that's my vertex. So I go back 4. Every single one of these points is going to be worth 2. So I go back 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my vertex. Okay? I'm going to go to -3, -8. So back 3, down 8, 4, 6, 8. Okay, the mirror image of that is going to be -5, -8. And then we've also got -2, -20, which is going to be way down here. And the mirror image of that is -6, -20. That's it.